annual event, helping to reinforce the mission that strong legs run so that weak legs may walk. The college stars of tomorrow are playing on this grand high school stage today. The 76th annual Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas, presented by Bilo, is coming up next. Wofford College is the scene of the oldest high school football all-star event, and it'll be held again today. It's the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas. Over 76 years, 74 million have been raised to help the local children and the hospitals throughout the country. Hello again, everybody. My name is Trip Durham, and along with James Buford, we've got a great afternoon of festivities for you. James, this is an event that's just one of a kind.
It's a super opportunity for the kids that are involved on both North and South, and they do a tremendous job across the country, really raising funds and doing great things for children.
There are 88 student athletes that will play in today's football game, 44 from North Carolina, 44 from South Carolina. You've got a few kids that you've identified as being all-stars today.
Absolutely. Everybody's an all-star, but TJ Logan is special. 8 touchdowns and 514 yards in the championship game against Charlotte Catholic. He's a terrific player going to North Carolina. And I'm talking a kicker here, number 6, Mr. Wogan. He's going to Oregon, but he's a weapon. Coach Smith says they're going to use him quick, use him early, and as soon as they get to the 40-yard line, he's in play. South Carolina is very, very important. They have a couple of things that are important for them, and the most important thing, throwing the football. Tremel Terry going to Georgia, a terrific athlete, and really South Carolina's best football player. In fact, he was just named South Carolina's Mr. Football. And then 82, Mike Williams. Williams catches the ball in space, has great hands, and looks for the end zone.
South Carolina leads the all-time series, but North Carolina won last year's contest. What are going to be the keys to the game today?
I think for North Carolina, the important thing is to get the running game going. So controlling the line of scrimmage becomes imperative. This way they can get Logan, and we talked about him, but not Chris Francis and Khalif Phillips, who are also great. And then South Carolina, they want to throw the football, throw it in space. They have a bevy of wide receivers, Green, and everybody else, as well as Mr. Terry.
We've also got a third member of our crew. Her name is Sarah Stankavich. Let's take it down to the field now and meet with Sarah.
Thanks, Trev. I'm excited to be back for the 76th Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas, where seniors from North and South Carolina come to not only represent their state, but to play for
Well, their nicknames for North Carolina, the Tar Heels. And the nicknames for South Carolina, they are the Sandlappers. The Tar Heels won the coin toss, and they have elected to defer to the second half. That means that the Oregon commitment, Matt Wogan, will line it up to kick it away. We talked to both head coaches during our production meeting, and we understand that Matt Wogan has been coached by Nelson Smith to make sure that he kicks that football out of the end zone each and every time. So we'll see if Coach Nelson Smith is able to do so. The opening kickoff today, it's sponsored by the College of Charleston. Welcome to class. You can find us online at class@charleston.com. Well, with the prevailing breeze that's here today, that football is not able to get to the end zone, and it's on the turf. It looks like that North Carolina has recovered. We'll wait for the official signal. And indeed, the Tar Heels, a great kickoff by Matt Wogan, and phenomenal field position inside the 10-yard line. James Buford, I don't think anybody could have scripted that to start the game.
That's a great job for North Carolina. Wogan kicked the ball dead on the 5 and was picked up by Tremel Terry. He got hit, fumbled the football, and it looks like it's North Carolina football.
Looks like A.J. Copeland, picked up the football, so that means the ball will be now placed inside the red zone. And the quarterback who will start things off today, Pharaoh Cooper, wearing number 22. He is listed on the depth chart as being a wide receiver. And Coach Nelson Smith for Garner Magnet, he's the head coach at Garner Magnet, who is coaching here this afternoon for North Carolina. He said there's going to be a lot of wildcat this run. And sure enough, on the first play from scrimmage, the ball will head to TJ Logan, the powerful young man from Northern Guilford High School, and he plows his way down to about the 3-yard line. Let's take a look at our starting lineups being delivered to you today by Bojangles. A lot of talented players on this squad for North Carolina.
Yeah, most importantly, TJ Logan, we talked about him, his explosiveness. You're right, he's a complete back. He does have power, but what he does best is he looks inside, then goes outside, and goes to pay dirt.
And on the second play from scrimmage, North Carolina gets the call from the sideline. North Carolina and South Carolina are playing under Shrine Bowl rules in which at least one setback is in the backfield. The handoff will be to TJ Logan, and he will squeeze his way down to about the 1-yard line. We will now take a look at the defensive starters, again brought to you by Bojangles.
There's the starters. The most important guy, I think, on the South Carolina side is Ben Boulware. Watch him. He's already an early commit, but he hasn't played football since November 5th, so he's going to be a little rusty. I like Devin Durant. He really brings the wood to the point of attack.
Big third down play coming up. New quarterback in, Noah Suber for North Carolina. He'll come up under center. Ball is on the turf. He picks it up. We'll wait for the signal. It looks like he might have broken the plane, and yes, he did. North Carolina first on the board, and all within the first 1.5 minutes of this contest.
Are we sure he broke the plane? Because the ball ended up in the hands of a Sandlamper player.
Now the officials, the officiating crew today, led by Todd Boyd, they indicated hands up in the air. And with that being the case, we will get Matt Wogan in.
Yeah, on that replay, it does look like he crossed the goal line with a second effort by Mr. Suber. He's a guy who's very versatile, can pass the football as well as run it, rush for over 1,200 yards, and threw it for over 1,500.
And Matt Wogan will pick up the tee. He will come in for the point after. Matt Wogan, he is ranked number 3 nationally, if not ranked number 1. He's got a phenomenal foot, not only when it comes to place kicking, but also punting. There is the head coach for North Carolina, Nelson Smith. He has spent 30 years at the helm at Garner Magnet High School in Garner, North Carolina. This is his last high school football game as a head coach. When the clock hits zeros here today for this game, his career on the sideline will officially come to an end. He will transition into the role of athletic director at Garner Magnet, and our congratulations. What a fine way to end such a stellar career in North Carolina. So North Carolina will be in to kick it away yet again. They did so just about a minute and a half ago. Matt Wogan will line it up. He'll put a foot into it, and the ball will kick short. And South Carolina's up man will bring it forward. And he will get dragged to the turf immediately by North Carolina's number 20, Lorenz Bryant. 8 yards on the return, and South Carolina will get a chance to bring it on up. And so now let's take a look at what South Carolina will offer us as a quarterback. Getting the start today is Michael Julian, a 6'5", 190-pounder out of Hilton Head High School in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Sort of a dual threat quarterback, JB. He can do it all with his size. A little bit of running, a little bit of throwing.
Yeah, but he's very accurate and has a very powerful arm. They want to play quick and in a hurry and try to get it to these wide receivers.
Head coach Ray Stackley for South Carolina on the first play from scrimmage. They will flare it out on a pass to the near sideline, and it's a lot of work to get out of bounds, but with the catch is Fabian Jefferson, a tight end from South Florence High School. A gain of 14, and that'll roll us right into the starting lineups, brought to you by Bojangles.
Yeah, there you go. Tramel Terry, number 1. He's Mr. Football in South Carolina. He's an important guy. Malcolm Green, Fabian Jefferson, we've seen already. Michael Williams and Montavious McClure will also be part of the ball game. Those are all fast, strong wide receivers.
Michael Julian on first down will step back. He'll go to the air for the second time today, and he's got a man open. And that ball is batted out of the air. The intended receiver, Michael Williams. He wanted a little bit of interference, but nothing doing.
Yeah, that's great coverage from North Carolina on Michael Williams, and you can see Julian's really strong arm is accurate and strong, right on time to Mr. Williams, who was not able to make the catch.
Brian Walker providing the coverage. Walker from the very strong Mallard Creek High School, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, Julian throws across his body. It's a difficult pass. You really can't throw that thing late, and I thought he could have stayed in the pocket and really settled himself down and found someone, but he started scrambling and was unable to find Moody.
We get our first look at Ben Henson this afternoon. Henson, both a kicker and punter for South Carolina. That's normally the routine for head coaches as they're picking positions. Just barely able to get it off. North Carolina will bring it forward. On the punt return, it's Pharaoh Cooper to the near side, and you may have heard the oohs and ahs from the crowd. A 40-yard punt A 12-yard return and one big lick on the near sideline.
Yeah, Cooper, who's a quarterback, a running back, does a lot of different things. Also is a punt returner. He did a good job feeling that on the bounce and then getting positive yardage on that punt.
We referred to the rules a little while ago that both offenses have to have at least one person in the backfield. You can see a couple of others that are also being the guiding forces today. Something that's also new for the high schoolers playing this afternoon is that once the ball is marked for ready, the clock will start. Normally in high school ball, it's not until the snap does the ball and the clock restart. But here they're going to have to hustle to the line and get ready to go as the handoff goes to Pharaoh Cooper. Cooper, who started as quarterback, now finds himself in the backfield taking the handoffs. North Carolina has the ball spotted at the 41, up by 6 very early on here in the 76th annual playing of this great event.
Yeah, and Chris Francis now in the ball game. He's a different type of runner. We talked about TJ Logan being a cutback guy. Well, Mr. Francis is a put the foot in the ground and go north and south type of player. So let's see what he does.
So the give will be to Chris Francis. He'll play it off the left side of the line. JB, it's interesting to watch these student athletes match up because normally during the regular season, the linemen especially don't have the same level of competition to play against week in, week out. But here in an all-star setting, they're pushing around the same amount of meat and skills as they have not been used to doing.
And it's difficult to measure an offensive line in such short notice. So we'll see what happens with the O-line play. But there's a lot of skilled players on both sides, so, you know, especially from the running back position in North Carolina. So it'll be interesting to see how the defensive line of South Carolina handles the offensive line of North Carolina.
3rd down and 3. North Carolina needs the midfield stride. Pass out into the flat. DJ Wilson gets his first touch, but he is stopped well short of the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss as South Carolina was able to come up and snuff it out. Get on the coverage for the Sandlappers. Lee Wright out of York Comprehensive High School in York, South Carolina. Great defense, JB.
Excellent defense. Look at Lee come in and kept his shoulders squared to the line of scrimmage on an inside-outside technique and was able to stop them short for a -3 yards. And now it's a punting situation for North Carolina.
So Matt Wogan will get his first opportunity to punt it away. We mentioned a little while ago, 52 yards on average for this young man that will cross the country and attend football and attend college at the University of Oregon in Eugene. Calls for the snap. A little bit wobbly on the kick. We'll get the bounce, though, for North Carolina, and it'll roll inside the 15 to the 10, maybe to the 9-yard line. So he got some extra mileage out of it. 47 yards on the punt, and South Carolina will have to start deep in their own territory. The Tar Heels lead it by 6 here in the 76th annual Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas.